Good morning. Time to wake up. I'm back home in the studio, man. Morning coffee and sports talk brought to you by oddsjam, the premier odds comparison company in the universe. Are you guys ready for some bets? Some winning bets? Because that's what we do. We win on morning coffee. BetMGM and PointsBet sign-up bonuses are below. Please click those links. Take advantage, would you please? And you know what? Deposit and bet. Don't just sign up, okay? Don't do no good if you just sign up. You got to get the bonuses. Come on. Build your bankroll. For those of you out there that have small bankrolls, why don't you go to this? Underdog Fantasy and Thrive Fantasy. There's a deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. So deposit 100. They're going to match it. Play through it. The money becomes yours. Be smart, and you'll make money. I'm giving you $200. All right. You have to deposit and bet though. Okay. All right. You can't just sign up, guys. Come on, let's go. Morning coffee picks 3 and 2 yesterday. We actually have another play that is going to be up today. South Carolina game. We're 230, 184 and 7, up 38.5 units, folks. And by the way, we are live on Twitter and Facebook right now. Don't forget, we have live chat available. And please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. All right, let's do it. Keep going. We got to rock this thing all the way through. It's a good morning here, man. Let's make some money today. We got NHL, NBA, NFL. No NFL. What am I saying? NCAA football and Major League Baseball. We do not have an equinox. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Get your act together here, Bob. Wake up this morning. Time for me to wake up. Cheers. Oh, let's drink some coffee together and make some bets. We're going to go to the positive EV page. We're going to show screen a new service that has so many things in it. It's a new option that I'll tell you what is going to take sports betting to a new level. And believe it or not, folks, I have a special guest here today. Also, it's very cool. Randall's gonna join me. Bobby V says, let's do it. So I'm going to bring Randall in. And Randall, good morning to you. He just got off a radio show, and man, you are just quite the guy. Radio show, YouTube show. You're the man.
Busy morning already, Bob.
I know. Do you have coffee?
No coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker.
Okay. Well, I am here. Cheers. Cheers to you guys.
Do like the smell of it, but no coffee for me.
All right. So, busy day, man. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. We got Tennessee and Georgia today, dude. This is, it's a big football game.
It is. Let's have a little discussion here, and people feel free to chime in. But if Georgia beats Tennessee today, Alabama beats Georgia, what's the playoff look like if Clemson and Ohio State go undefeated, or Clemson, Ohio State, and or Michigan? What's the playoff look like? Or do we have 3 SEC teams in?
Yeah, let's put all 3 SEC teams in and get rid of the Big Ten.
So you're not throwing Ohio State or Michigan in, or
no? Let's get rid of them.
I actually think Clemson could be in trouble today. So it may be
yeah, you're probably right.
Moot point. But I mean, it's interesting. I mean, if Tennessee wins this game, I think they're in the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
I mean, no matter what, they're the number one team. So I would say Tennessee's in. But yeah, if Georgia wins, if Bama beats Georgia in the SEC championship, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what the committee does. This is the one year where we actually need an expanded playoff, and there are actually quality teams. I mean, it's not going to be like this every year. I think by the time the expansion happens, you're going to have teams that have no business being in it, and it's not going to be what we would like it to be. So
right. Hey, let me just share my screen here real quick. Let's take a look at what the numbers are. Obviously, Georgia heavily favored. Looks like up to 9.5. Which, man, I think I'm really tempted to take the Volunteers plus 9.5 in this game. What about you?
I mean, you see all of the reports on Twitter with these sports books that 85%, 90% of the money is on Tennessee, but yet the line is actually going the other way. I mean, Georgia opened up 8, now it's 8.5, now it's 9, now it's 9.5. Like, at what point? I mean, does it? I don't think it touches 10, but I mean, this is one of those spots where, I mean, historically, at least over the years, I mean, Georgia would be the play, but I don't know. I like this Tennessee team. I mean, I honestly think if it gets to 10, and I don't know, maybe even it's worth buying it to 10. I think it's almost a play at 10.
I was just going to ask you about buying it.
I mean, let's see what the juice is there to take it to 10.
So, jumped up to minus 135.
Yeah, see, that's too steep, and they're not going to give it to you on any other book. So I don't think I'd buy it to 10. If anything, I mean, maybe you live bet this game. Hope Georgia scores. I mean, if Georgia scores immediately, I mean, live line's probably 11.5. So
absolutely. All right, I want to look at something here. Check out Hendon Hooker. I've been really impressed with him. And I know we got Bennett on the other side, but Hooker, the first time I saw him, I didn't think he was going to be that good. But you know what? He's a persevering quarterback, is he not? He just don't quit.
Yeah, no, he's been solid this year. I was high on Tennessee like 2 years ago. I mean, obviously a little bit of a different team, but I mean, they've really come into their own. I'm excited for this game today. This is one that I've got circled, that I'll be sitting in the recliner watching this one. I'll tell you the other game that's interesting to me, and not really any playoff implications or anything like that, but it's Texas at Kansas State. I don't know if you've looked at that game or not, but Texas, I believe, is laying 2.5 at K-State. This Texas team
up to 3.
I mean, so I believe Texas lost last week. K-State coming off of a 48-0 win against who was it last week? Oklahoma State. I like Texas this week. I mean, I was stunned to see that Texas was favored on the road. So I think I'm definitely betting Texas today. I think it's a good spot for them. And I know we mentioned a couple of other games. I think Notre Dame could knock off Clemson. I don't understand that. I don't know why. I don't know how Clemson isn't 5.5, 6. I mean, they're laying 3.5 now. I think it was 4. I mean, Notre Dame is awful. But I don't know. Maybe they get up for a game, and I think if Clemson wins, we are going to have some playoff controversy.
Yes, we are. Clemson's going to win. Notre Dame is not a good team. They're just not a good team.
I agree. But the odds makers, they set those lines for a reason.
I know. And we always argue about this. Speaking of which, let's talk World Series here real quick. Is this over right now? Does it end tonight? I think the no-hitter after the day after hitting 5 home runs and then getting no hit was a backbreaker for Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, and typically in baseball, I mean, you probably know this better than I do. I'm not a baseball guy, but I mean, it's the same theory as, you know, basketball, NFL. I mean, when a team just looks awful, they usually bounce back the next game. You know, and you've seen it before in baseball. A team gets no hit in the regular season, they come out the next day and win. But I personally think this series is over. I think the Astros close it out, and Mattress Mac becomes the biggest bet to ever cash. So yeah, I think it's over. I'm actually kicking myself for not taking Houston plus money to win that series when they.
Yeah, I know, and you could have got it right in the middle of the World Series too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's do a recap real quick here. Part of what we do, and before we do that, let's have a little coffee. Everybody, little cheers. OddsJam coffee cup. Look at that, baby. Isn't that nice? You wish you had one. You know you do. I'm telling you right now, you do. All right, let's do the recap. Got to talk about everything that happened yesterday, and let's go to college football. First, where Washington beat number 23 Oregon State. Actually, that's not a surprise in my opinion. 24-21. UConn over UMass, 27-10. Not a surprise there. And then Duke beat Boston College 38-31. In the NBA, the Cavs beat the Pistons 112-88. Kevin Love's still playing.
Disaster strikes.
I know. Kevin Love, he just disappears for big, long stretches of time, and then all of a sudden he shows up again. Pacers beat the Heat 101-99. Hero had 29 points, though, in a losing cost. The Knicks beat the Sixers. Saw this one coming, man. Saw this one coming. The Sixers are going to be I'm not sure what's wrong with Embiid. He's sick or something, got some kind of illness. I don't know, but without Harden and Embiid not 100%, forget it. The Nets beat the Wizards 128-86. Kevin Durant with 28 points. Good for
On that note, Bob, not to interrupt your recap, but that Nets, I mean, I wish I would have bet that game last night. I did not, but I think the Nets are better without Kyrie. I mean,
yeah,
he was
very
awesome.
well could be. Maybe they're better without Nash.
Well, Nash and Kyrie, get them both out.
Celtics beat the Bulls 123-119. Or Jason Tatum came through in points, and DeRozan with 46 in a losing cause. Grizz over the Hornets 130-99. I can't believe Adams couldn't have been the number one scorer in that game. 13 points, come on. Clippers 113, Spurs 106. Paul George with 32 points. Mavs beat the Raptors 111-110. Luka 35 points. Did he set the record over Chamberlain? I know he started off 7 30-point games in a row. Does he have 8 or 9 now?
I think he's gone over his point total too in every game, hasn't he?
Yeah. Pelicans 114, Warriors 105. Bad bet on our part in morning coffee. 115-102 Bucks over the T-Wolves. Jrue Holiday with 29. Trailblazers over the Suns 108-106. Man, the Trailblazers are a funny team. Are they going to make some noise this year, guys? And the Jazz beat the Lakers, who are 2-6, 130-116. Boy, they're a bad team. In the NHL, we got them both right. We took the Avalanche -1.5. They won 6-3 over the Blue Jackets, and we took over 6.5 in the Hurricanes and Sabres game. And I also had another bet that I had the Hurricanes -1.5. Won that one too. 5-3 Hurricanes over the Sabres. That is the recap, by the way. From a hockey's perspective, folks, my St. Louis Blues are in trouble if Ryan O'Reilly keeps playing like he is. Cheers. It does not look good when he's playing that bad and the guy that they traded to get him is on fire. Tage Thompson of the Sabres.
Well, Bob, you can move to the XFL in February. You can
there you go.
Season.
Well, no, I can't give up on hockey, man. I'm on fire. Speaking of which, Justin Williams here. What's y'all's take on the Pelicans for the season? I think they will be an improved team. You know, everything depends upon Zion staying healthy. If the guy stays healthy, they can be a very competitive team. But if he doesn't, forget it. And by the way, let's go back to NHL. There is my record right now, folks. This is in the oddsjam videos. 52, 32, and 1, up 30.95 units. And if you say that's mathematically impossible, I will kick you out of here. Because I had a guy on Twitter say that one time, and it is mathematically possible, is it not, Randall, when you're trying to win 2 units on every bet?
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking plus money, I assume the Hurricanes and your other bet yesterday were both plus money. So,
well, and you know, the other thing that you have to remember is that you're risking so much to win 2. So if you're winning 2, you know, and both of those yesterday won 2 units, so there were 4 units I won on those plays. Hey, let's go do some positive EV looking, folks. Let's go to oddsjam, and we got another comment up here. Who we got? There you go, Bobby V. He already said it. You're the man, Bob. You're right. I am a man among boys. All right. First off, Randall, and while I take people through this, I'm going to click screen, which, by the way, yesterday was a little difficult for me, but screen is a feature that we have that you're going to be able to look at money line, point spread, total points, first quarter money line, first half money line. The money line is free. If you want the rest, and that includes all of the player props that you're going to be able to look at, which is really going to help you with your fantasy apps. You know, let's just take a look here right now in the NFL. If I can get that to switch, there we go. And maybe I should have Randall.
I thought I set you up with this, Bob.
You did.
Let's. I can check. We'll see. You can.
Yeah.
Real quick. What do you think while I'm setting this up? What do you think about that Titans game and Chiefs tomorrow, the one that you can see?
What's the number now? It was 10.5.
I think it's 11.5 now.
It's Andy Reid coming off a bye. That's the part that I have issues with.
All right, your screen's good now. You should be able to go and refresh.
Okay, I just refreshed, and there it is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's kind of difficult. When you're doing it live, folks, this is what happens. All right, anyway, screen. How much is this service, Randall?
So if you're just wanting the main markets, just wanting to look at like spreads, you know, total points, all of that, it's $49 a month. If you're wanting the main prop or the main lines and then the player props, $79 a month. But we do have a yearly sale on both of those. If you use code SCREEN30, 30% off each one of those. So you can take advantage of that. Looks like some money just came in on that Raiders game there. You hover over that -2 on the Raiders. Let's see what that was. Where the red is. Is it showing anything? Or maybe it was the green.
No,
it should be showing something. I don't know why it's not. Usually shows you the line movement. I'll have to take a look at that. But yeah, you can see, you can check and see the line movement and all of that coming in. seeing where the money's at. So pretty helpful tool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing is when you get into the player props, let's just look at player receiving yards here. Because NFL player props and NBA player props are huge. Okay. Not saying that NHL isn't. Baseball, they're pretty big too, but NFL and NBA especially, because they have the most player props. And as you can see, folks, you've got all these numbers here, and you're going to have your fantasy stuff in here too, which, by the way, these are fire keepers, Randall.
Yeah, that's in Michigan. We'll have to get your sports book squared away.
Yeah, we will definitely have to do that.
I am not sure where that one is.
Right. But as you can see, folks, you can look at the lines on all of these for your overs and unders for player receiving yards, and look at it in comparison to where it is at in your fantasy app too, and whether they actually have the play in that fantasy app. Like for instance here, Underdog has Hunter Henry, but Thrive does not. So kind of important. All right, let's go to positive EV page. We got to find morning coffee bets. That's what this is all about. So I'm going to do my thing. My thing is start off with recommended filters. Then let's look at these, and then we're going to pick some to bet. Now, Randall's probably going to tell me bet every one of them, but he knows how stubborn I am. South Florida versus Temple, over 10.5 first quarter points. 25-cent market with. Let's look at this play a little bit closer. The over is plus 115 on the perfect line. Plus 115 is about as close as you can get, and Caesars has it at plus 130. And when you take the juice out, plus 125 to 25-cent market with. Randall, let me ask you a question. How much of a factor do you factor in or weigh this in the win percentage?
Yeah, I mean, win percentage, I don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to. I know we do have a lot of users that will bet anything that's, or bet only the ones that have, a 50% or higher chance of hitting. And, certainly they have, they've found success with that. But I mean, a lot of these underdogs, I mean, even the short underdogs of plus 130, plus 150, I mean, there's just so much value in them that it's hard to pass on them. That Clemson Notre Dame game looks interesting, under 44.5. I think that could be
that could be a good
play.
Yeah, and it's a high win percentage too. And we'll hit that since you said something about it. That'll be a morning coffee pick, and if it loses, it's on you. All right.
I think I like that. I like that play.
I do too. I actually do too. I ultimately make the final decision on that, so we will go with that. Celtics Knicks today at 6:40. By the way, folks, something else I want to show you here. I do set my date range to today. Just how I do it. I don't like to go too far in the future unless I'm wanting to look at the NFL weekend. You were already talking about this game earlier, Randall. Notre Dame on the money line.
Yeah, I mean,
162. Are you saying that's a morning coffee bet too?
I mean, it's EV. I think it can happen. I think Clemson is awful.
Half a unit. We're going to put a half a unit on it.
I'm not sold on Clemson. What was it last week? They benched DJU. Wasn't that last week?
Yeah.
Is he starting this week?
Oh, I don't know. Let's do a hockey one here real quick. Nico Rantanen, over 3.5 player shots on goal. I'll go with that. I'll go with that for sure. So now, since I got Randall here, and Randall and I both do calls, I'm going to show him what I do next when I'm dealing with positive EV plays. All right. So I go to market, click out the player props, go to market with, and make it a 25-cent maximum. I don't worry about minimum maximum odds. I'm not worried about leagues, sports books. And you will find that some of these recommended filter plays are all going to show up here too, because that's pretty well the formula.
How about the Flyers game, Bob? They're at the top, under 6.5. You like that?
No.
It's
at Ottawa. Ottawa is an offensive team. It's going to depend on who's starting in goal. Okay. If Carter Hart's starting in goal, then I may go with the under. If he's not starting in goal, the backup's in there, I'm not sure. I do like, though, the Celtics-Knicks game, which was actually on the recommended filters. Celtics under 113.5. I like that play. So I'm going to hit that and make it a morning coffee pick. And what about this University of Texas San Antonio game? I saw a positive EV play there. UTSA plus 2.5 against UAB. I'm going to hit it. I'm going to make it a morning coffee pick. We're going to do it. Maryland, Wisconsin. I saw one there. What do we got here? Over 10.5 first. You know what? I like those first quarter total point plays. I do not like first period over 2 hockey plays.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's a change by the sports books. I mean,
Right.
The standard line for years was 1.5. I mean, always.
Right. But, that first period hockey thing, I'm just not a big.
I mean, at 2 goals, you have to have 3 in the first period for you to cash your ticket. I mean, that's hard to do.
3 goals total. Okay.
Right.
It's total. And yeah, it is. But sometimes teams get out there and just get after it. First half point spread, Hawks against the Pelicans. I like this one too. And look at the market width, way down there at 12 cents. Way down there at 12 cents. Minus 107. Pinnacle line, get it at plus 100. That's a good play. And it's a first half point spread. You got to jump in on that stuff, folks. All right, so let me get out of this. Let's go and do some player props here real quick. Click out of the main and alternate market and go to the player props. We're going to do 38 cents. I was doing 40 and I got too many funky ones in there. So here's where the shots on goal come in. We've already hit one with Mikko Rantanen. Heiskanen over 2.5 player shots on goal for Dallas. We'll hit that one. And by the way, folks, that if you go to your bet settings, which you go to settings and hit bet settings, you set your bankroll and it will calculate what your actual recommended bet size should be based upon the percentage of the play. And that is a good thing. So as I said, I switched some things around there. That's how I handle positive EV. I got to go to my bet tracker real quick here. Maybe. And I got to find my plays here. All right. So we went over 10.5. That's going to be a morning coffee pick. Let's shoot that one in there. Under 44.5 between Clemson and Notre Dame. That's a morning coffee pick. That's Randall. And then Randall's going to take credit for the Notre Dame pick. So if we go 1-4, and 2 of them are his losses, it'll be his fault.
Might be your only 2 wins.
Could be. Celtics under 113.5. We'll go with that. I like this one. And let's go with the Hawks. First half point spread. There you go. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for a second. I want to see if I have one comment in here. Chris, is it included in the industry plan? No. Pretty simple answer. This is a separate service.
Yeah, not associated with any plan. It's totally totally different from any of the plans that we have. Just a standalone feature.
Yes, and it's a great feature and can help make you money. So if you're on the industry plan and you pay for this too, and it's going to depend on whether do you do a lot of player prop betting? Is it going to be beneficial for you to have that with the player props? What'd you say the $49.99 was? That's main.
49 is just main markets. 79 is main markets plus the
right.
Yeah, plus player props.
Right. So, guys, just do it. Do it. It's a great feature. And you know what? Start off with the $49.99. You can always add on at a later date. Chris is all right with that. All right, Chris. There you go. That's what we're going to do. All right. You know what? We've been into this a half an hour and have not talked any NFL, and I'm going to shoot it out here right now, Randall. Oh, what am I talking about? NFL, CFL. Randall.
It's where I'm at tomorrow. I won't even watch. Well, I say I won't. I'll watch the NFL tomorrow, but at what time is that Hamilton game? I think it's at noon tomorrow. Let's just double check. Yeah, it is. It's at noon. Noon, 12 o'clock. Same start time as the NFL. I will be on Hamilton and Montreal at noon tomorrow, and the 3:30 slot, Calgary and BC. I'll be there. I probably won't watch NFL until Sunday Night Football. Tomorrow is all about the CFL, and anybody watching right now or tuning in later, if you've never watched the CFL, you need to check it out. I think it's on ESPN2 tomorrow. Both games will be on ESPN2. Need to check them out. Worth checking out. Very, very cool league. With a lot of talent. So,
all right, let's do this real quick. I just got to show him. It's one of the reasons that he's here is to be able to show CFL because he is the CFL expert. Hamilton and Montreal. This is almost a pick'em game. Montreal the favorite, and I said early in the season, Alouette, Jonte Alouette. Okay. You got to watch out for them Alouettes, but they're playing Hamilton. We know how much I like the Ticats. This is a tough pick. I got to be honest with you though. I'm thinking Montreal money line.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I have somewhat of a bad feeling about this game. I mean, I like Hamilton. I've got the future.
Right.
But
that's probably the nail in the coffin that you have a future.
Yeah, future at 40-1 too. I mean,
I know.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's probably the nail in the coffin. But I mean, if you follow this league, I mean, and I do very closely. I mean, I've watched probably close to every game this year of every team, and Hamilton is playing the best of any of the 6 teams that are left. I mean, now obviously there's only 9 in the league and 6 make it, but they're playing the best football of any of the remaining teams. They're hot at the right time. They've won 4 in a row, and we see it in sports all the time. It matters. Playing your best football at the right time. So we'll see. I'm gonna be pulling hard for him. This line was actually 2.5. Montreal minus 2.5, and it's now down to 1.5. So it tells me sharps professionals are on Hamilton, but I don't know. We'll
And
see.
here we go. Here we go. Now, you want to talk about close? Here's another one: Calgary and BC. I would lean towards BC, but yeah. Here's a question I got real quick: how important is home field in CFL?
I think it's a great question. I mean, in BC tomorrow, I think it's going to be very important. They've sold out the entire lower bowl. They've now opened the second to begin selling tickets. I mean, this was another game though. BC opened 2.5. Now it's down to 1.5 and 1. So
yeah, exactly.
It's going to be. I mean, you get two very, very good games tomorrow, I think, potentially.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Go to ESPN2 and watch those. We've been gaining a few more viewers as we go on here. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. All right, Randall and I got to get out of here. I'm going to tell you right now, Randall, I appreciate you coming in. And by the way, he is a celebrity too, by the way.
I don't know about that, Bob.
He's a radio star now. You got a face for radio, you know. Hey, there's my hockey guy back there. No. Hey, Randall, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Randall is on Morning Coffee. Stephen Batsa, you finally showed up. Yes, we had a little fun here. We went a little overtime. Hey, you too, Bobby. You have a great day too. And I'll be putting out a hockey video here in a little bit. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep rolling. Making plays, making bets. Making plays, making bets. That's what we do at Morning Coffee. Cheers to you guys. Have a great day. I need more coffee. See you guys.